Welcome everybody to Top Lines Live at 5. My name is Brian Devine, and I am excited to have you here today on this Friday. And you can see I've got my red shirt on for Friday. And we are going to be talking about Google's new terms of service when it comes to reviews. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I've been hearing a lot of chatter about it, and I'm sure you've been hearing a lot of chatter about it. And even if you haven't, it's good to know what is going on, because there are all these tools out there that help you generate reviews. And a lot of us, our team included, built these tools so that there would be what Google would consider a gate, a review gate, so that if somebody were to give you a negative review, the software would not ask them to then please leave that on Google, Yelp, Facebook. In other words, we're sort of saying, if you're going to give us a negative review, we want that information. We want to get it to the right people in the practice, but we don't want to share that with everybody in the world online. And that's what this software is all about. Now, what Google has done is they have said, we don't want you to be doing review gating, meaning if you're using a third-party tool, and somebody is going to give you what seems to be the sentiment of a negative review, that you stop the review. And let me be clear that this is actually what Google is saying. Google is saying, do not do that. We don't like it, and we're going to have a real issue with you if you don't, or if you do that. And I want to make sure that you're hearing this, because what can Google do? Well, what they have said is that they would be likely to remove your reviews. If they feel like your reviews are not trusted because you're using this gating, they can remove your reviews. That's kind of the worst of it. That's the absolute worst possible scenario. Here's the thing. Google does that already. Google will already decide if they feel like a review is not real, if it is not a natural review, and they will remove it. So they filter reviews already. Now, what has happened is we have heard from some sort of, I would call them fear mongers. I'm looking at my notes here because I want to get this right. What we've heard is that people are being told that this can be a violation of the FTC. I want to make this crystal clear. No, it is not. The FTC has nothing to do with it. And if it were even remotely true, Yelp would not exist today. Yelp would be long gone. All right? So just keep that, sort of in your back pocket if anyone's telling you that. If that were true, Yelp, out of here. And Yelp is not going anywhere. Yelp is still a powerhouse. Okay, so what does that really mean? That means that with the tools, the ones that we use, if you decide that you do not want to gate, you don't want to take a negative reviewer and then take them to our system where we ask them all kinds of questions on, hey, what did we do wrong? How do we make it right? Give us as much detail as you can so that we can fix this for you. If you want to turn that off, we can do that, which makes us compliant with Google's new terms of service. Now, if we leave it on, it will continue to actually help you kind of filter the good and the bad. And your risk is relatively low as far as having it be a real problem, because essentially what they might do is remove some reviews, which would, be a disappointment, but not the end of the world. So you have to decide for yourself, is it worth removing the gate, removing the ability to kind of filter the good from the bad, versus just doing things the way that we've been for years, which is working quite nicely. And I want you to also remember that this is only for Google. That if we're going to be posting reviews on Yelp, on Facebook, Insider Pages, Super Pages, Yahoo, Bing, all of these other places, they don't have this new terms of service. They don't have this new policy. So if you turn it off, you turn it off. But if you leave it on, it's good for all of them. So I have to kind of leave it to you to decide what your comfort level is. And if your comfort level, if you feel like I am not willing to risk losing some reviews on Google, then whatever your third-party service is, if it's us, we'll turn it off. If it is through another company, just ask them to please turn off the gating, which is that ability to say a 3-star or lower. Don't ask them to leave you a review. It's relatively straightforward stuff for us as far as just turning it off if that's what our clients ask for. So we're not really recommending that you do that just yet until we kind of see how things shake out and see what Google really means by all this. Essentially what they're saying is, please be honest. We want all the reviews, and that's what they are looking for, is honest, real reviews. And that's what our systems are designed to generate. And obviously, if we can take someone who's upset and turn them into someone who's happy through our system and then ask them for a review again, we're not only compliant, but we're getting really great reviews. And the concept here, again, is Google wants those honest, real reviews, and we're trying to help make sure that happens. Now, you'll hear people that are, that'll say things like the FTC is going to get involved. That's not true. Don't be afraid of that kind of thing. The worst case scenario is they remove some reviews. And I also have heard people saying, well, you should never do that gating anyway because great customer service is the best solution to any negative review problems. Well, I think we all know that we all make mistakes, and there are always going to be customer or patient-facing people who might have a bad day and say things that you really wish that they didn't, or do things where you thought, how did you ever do that? And it will result in this negative review. And that's why we want to have this gate where we can let someone vent and let it all out, and then you can solve it and turn it into a good review. So the people that are saying not to do that because it's all about, creating good service, what they're forgetting is that when somebody leaves you a negative review and you're able, even if you get the review, you respond to the review and you say, I want to make it all better, and you do, it's going to be really hard to get that person to take the review down or to write another one, another more positive one. And that's kind of where it is. It's nothing for you to be really scared about. There's nothing that is sort of a, sky is falling kind of a concern. It's just important that you understand that this is happening, that it's only Google, not all of the different companies that do reviews, and that is really up to you how you want to handle it. And make sure that you are working with a third-party service, that if you decide you don't want the gate, you don't want to have that little filter, that they have the ability to turn it off. And if they don't, you can always find another solution, or give us a call and we'll talk to you about how it all works. But we do have that ability to just kind of turn that off. Okay, that's it for me on this Friday afternoon. I hope you're doing great. Look forward to any questions that you might have. Give us a call if there's anything we can do to support you. And that's it for me. Bye for now.